Hey guys, it is Rebecca Oberstadt, and this is look number 8. This is the last holiday look that I filmed, and I ended up using quite a few palettes, but I noticed I didn't really have a lot of the matte shades that this look required. So initially I'm starting off with the Orient Express from Nomad Cosmetics. It has that amazing white shade in it that I'm using right there. You can put it on and it's kind of sheer, and then you can build it up, but it never seems to look chalky on the skin, even with like super dry 40-year-old eyelids. So I find that it works super well at erasing things off the skin. You can mix it with darker shades to make them lighter. You can use it to do cut creases. Now for the greens, again, I didn't have any that were matte that were that dark, so I start off with the Wet n Wild 40 palette, or the 40 palette. That is a shade out of there. I don't know if it has a name. I have all the palettes right here with me. Do you have a name? No, it's the third one in on the bottom row. And I think at one point I mixed it with the first shade is what it looks like. This is the dupe for the James Charles palette, and I think that's the color Cape Cod in his, if you have that palette. I sold mine. It was a piece of garbage. So yeah, I got rid of it. I end up using the first and the third shade on that bottom row from the Wet n Wild, the 40 palette. I also dip into the Orient Express into that Etoile du Nord, which is a more like yellow based green for the top, and I mix that with the 40 palette. And then here in just a minute I end up dipping into Grand Sweet and trying to get that deeper green, but again, I didn't have that matte shade. Now this shade here is from the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions palette. This is the second row, first shade. It's like that dark green with a black base, and I am putting that in the center. All of this is real time, just in case you're wondering. This is a beautiful look. You could wear it all by itself without having to do any of the detailed liner work that I did. I think you know, if I had the matte shades, this would look quite a bit differently, because I didn't have the matte shades. I used shimmer shades, and you know, they say women over like 30 shouldn't wear shimmers, you know, on their lids or anywhere else for that matter. Well, I say poo-poo on that, because I'm 40 and I love my shimmer shades. I do not like all matte looks, and this girl's look is all matte, and I think there is a signature at the very top by her eyebrow, but even zooming in I was unable to read what her name was, but her watermark is on it. So this is the only other look that I've recreated that actually has a freaking name on it. So if you can read it, more power to you. I tried to zoom it in on my phone. I tried zooming it in on the iPad, even on my computer, and I couldn't get it to come up right. Now, this shade that I'm using here is from the Juvia's Place, the Magic Mini. This is the shade Buzo, and it is a beautiful jewel-toned green, but it has like a slightly blue hint to it next to that shade from the Huda Beauty palette. And I just, you know, I was trying to do greens here, trying to do greens. I really like that Buzo shade. It's so pretty. I think putting this all over the lid and then blending it out and then just leaving it, it's magical. It really is. That would be like my go-to one shadow kind of look and go kind of thing. It really is pretty. Now that is from the Orient Express. That is a beautiful shade. It's one of their special shades. It is Venice from the Orient Express, and then I went back into that white shade, which is White Glove. I used like 4 shades out of this palette, I do believe, for this look. I use this palette quite a bit for most of my holiday looks. That I use this palette at least once for every holiday look that you have seen so far. So that white, man, look at how white that white is, and it doesn't look chalky. even the white in the 40 palette is chalky looking. The white in the James Charles palette was chalky. This actually is from the Raw Beauty Christie X Color Pop palette at Forest Site. That is the shade Amanita. It's the only like burgundy shade that I had in my collection that I could use that would even remotely look similar to that red shade that she had underneath her eye. The red on her eye is so much more red, whereas mine's more like cranberry, but you work with what you got. Now, this is from Lele Posh. This is the color called Serpentine. It's a single that I got in a mystery bag, mystery box. Either that or it's one I bought. I've done both. I have bought some of their singles as well as bought a couple of their mystery boxes that, and they said, you know, she sends you whatever you might not already have in your collection. So I'm not quite sure if I bought this single as a single or not. I do have a code with Lele Posh, which is, I think it's Rebecca or Rebecca 10. I also have a code with Nomad. I do not earn any money on either of those codes. But I got the brush wet. That's an angled V10 brush. It's a eyeshadow, or not eyeshadow, it's an eyebrow brush on one end and a spoolie on the other, but it works super well at doing stuff like this. Isn't that a beautiful shade? It has a black base, but the green shimmer in that is so much richer than the one from the Huda Beauty palette. They're both very similar to each other, but if you look, now that it's close to, the crease, you can see that those two greens are different. And then I'm just blending out that, that Amanita shade again. Again, this is just a beautiful look all on its own. You wouldn't have to mix it with any, or, you know, you can wear it just as is. Now, that is the Paris shade from the Nomad Cosmetics website, the Orient Express palette. It is a white with a pink shift with a hint of, there's like a little bit of blue iridescence in there as well. Also, putting it over the green, you see how it slightly picks up some of the green, and I think that's just because the colors kind of mix. That is an e.l.f. concealer brush that I'm using there, but I wanted it kind of as a precise application kind of thing. And she did, like I said, her entire look was all matte shades, and so far the only matte shades that I've used is the one under my eye and the one on my brow bone. Now, the liner work. I ended up using the red and the white liner from my line of cosmetics, but the brown I ended up mixing like the red and the black and a little bit of blue and some yellow and other colors, trying to get the right shade of brown for those like candy cane looking things. That was difficult to get the right shade for this look, but instead of like putting the red line down and then going over it with the white, potentially making a pink shade like it has in previous holiday looks this season, I decided I would put this on in steps, and I did little small sections and then kind of left blank spaces so that I could go back in and fill it in with white. Now I'm working, and I did, I think I ended up leaving, I did some of these like little heart candy cane things a little bit too big and ended up running out of room or crammed them together, but I think they're fun. So I'm going to let you guys listen to the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. I love this song. I used to love watching the Nutcracker. I love the storyline behind the Nutcracker. If you were to ask me what my favorite holiday movie is, I don't have one, but my favorite holiday play is the Nutcracker. So I don't do Christmas. I don't do Christmas movies or Christmas music. That stuff, all it does is piss me off and make me angry. So this is the next best thing. I love this song. I learned how to play this song on the piano when I was a kid. It was my favorite. So I'm just going to let the music talk for itself, and I will be back in just a little bit after I get done fighting with all these little heart-shaped candy canes. Enjoy from now until I talk to you again. All right, now that you guys have seen most of the liner work, I'm just doing some finishing touches here. I have tried to make sure I zoomed all of this in so you guys could see what I was doing, where I was doing it, and how I was doing things. And just doing some minor touch-ups here and there. You know, this look would absolutely be gorgeous if I wanted to fart with lashes, which I did not. I did not put lashes on with this look, but I think it would be absolutely beautiful with lashes. And I think it turned out really nice. I did try and make sure that I kept the picture of the look included in all of the video clips in the same spot so that, you know, able to be seen at all times. I know the camera got blurry at a few spots, and it stared at the door a few times, and my nose a couple of other times, and my ear one time. So there's nothing I can do about that, because, you know, I glance up and look and see if I'm in frame, but I really don't look long enough to see if I'm blurry or not. I really should pay more attention to that. But when I'm in the like zone filming, it really is hard for me to remember to take into consideration that. But look at how gorgeous those greens are. Shimmers or not, I think they're all very beautiful on their own. Maybe I ought to just do a swatch video on just my green shimmer shadows. But yeah, I really enjoy how this look turned out. Yes, my little heart candy canes are a little too big and a little too close together, very close together in the front. And yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm really happy that, you know, with how it turned out. And then these are the actual photos, the photo stills that I took of the look. And of course, the very last picture is going to be the look that I was recreating. Again, I tried to look at the person's name in the photo to see if I could figure out who it was, but it's some sort of weird script type writing, and the words are too close together for me to look at. Like, I even tried looking on Instagram and tried typing in a few different versions that I could possibly make out from the picture, but alas, it was a wash. I could not figure out who did this look, and I'm sorry, but I wish I could tag the person who did this look, because their look is absolutely stunning, so much more perfect than mine. But I had fun recreating it, and these two looks were the last two that I filmed, and I had fun doing it, and I was rocking out to music the whole time as loud as I could possibly listen to it too, because nobody else was either up or home or in the house or whatever. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think of this look down below. It was 38 minutes and change initially before cutting out every time I looked down, or, you know, looking for a new color or switching colors, that kind of thing. And we're down to 22 minutes. So I cut a good chunk of time off this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a fantastic day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in another video very soon. Please be safe and wear your mask.